Every night you pace the floor, wondering where the portents you found before set you wandering, wandering. Every day you work that much harder to keep yourself from being a martyr behind the scenes, but keep that dream. Was it years ago you first touched the sky? Do you still believe your eyes? I don't know why you have to try so hard to hear your own heart calling. You're the keeper of the dream. Breadcrumbs leading from the frozen stream. You're the light they choose to see. Keeper of the dream. Saturdays burning volumes of symbols, neatly lined up to point to the riddles you're pondering. Well aware aging children may follow and have the visions they pick turned to holograms under them. You look again. When you turn inside, you still hear their cries. Casting feelings has its price, and you pay twice. You have to ride so far to save the last star from falling. You're the keeper of the dream. Breadcrumbs leading from the frozen stream. You're the light they choose to see. Keeper of the dream.
Good morning. Welcome to All Souls on 9/11. This is a church built on covenant, not creed. Here we endeavor to treat respectfully those with differing paths and opinions. We have discovered we don't have to think alike to love alike, to walk in reverence for life, and to try to do what we can to make the world a more compassionate place for all people. At the first part of this service, I usually ask blanket permission for everybody that's speaking here in the pulpit, and ask if there's anyone here who would be uncomfortable with the speakers taking their masks off. If you would be uncomfortable with that, please let us know. Okay, thank you. Also, how about song leading? Anybody uncomfortable with the song leaders? Okay, thank you. Today is our Emerson Award service. Each year we give an award to someone from the broader community who has exemplified the spirit and principles of this tradition. And we are very honored this morning to have Kathaleen Pittman here, but we're going to tell you more about her as the service goes on. We front load the service with some announcements, trying to keep everybody up to speed, so bear with us for a few minutes as we share some of the uncommon things that we have to offer this week. We have a board person, Jennifer Russell, who will give you some information now.
Good morning. Our Give Away the Plate recipient for this month is the Highland Center Ministries. They do a lot of good stuff in our community, not the least of which is the Highland Blessing Dinner. They have provided housing and helped people who are immigrants who are being released from detention find their way to their sponsors and get them to airports and bus stations and all of that over the last probably 2 years, nearly, I would say. Access to banking services, all kinds of things that are just good things and so needed. So anything that comes in that's not designated as a pledge for this month will be given to Highland Center Ministries, including anything in the baskets in the bag. Our volunteer of the month for September is Brittany Turner. Brittany has, if you enjoy any of the visual stuff that happens online or on the screen in the service, that's pretty much been Brittany. We are learning to try to fill her shoes, so any mistakes are not Brittany, that's us trying to emulate her. But she has just given so much of her time. She's done worship services, spoken about what the church means to her and different topics, and so thank you, Brittany. Next week, on the 18th, during the regular worship service at 11, is our homecoming service. So we will be marking member milestones, people who have been members of the church for, big milestone anniversaries, 10, 25, those types of things. Honoring people that we have lost over the last year or so, and just trying to get people together. So if you've been looking for the right time to come back in person to All Souls, next Sunday is your chance. After the service, we'll also be doing a potluck and playing games and things like that in the social hall. So it'll be a good time, and we'll also be doing blessing of the backpacks during that service to honor students who are going back to school, teachers, faculty, staff. So bring your backpack, bring your briefcase, bring whatever you carry around your stuff in to be able to participate in that. Thank you.
Oh, good morning. I'm Susan Caldwell. I'm the Director of Religious Education, and I have a message about religious education this morning for children and youth. If you've been a member of this church for 6 months or longer, and you are interested, we are going to need a second teacher in our middle and high school group. They are doing kind of a fun thing this fall. They are working on a mural in their classroom. At least a lot of Sundays, they're going to be painting on it. They're going to be changing some of the mural that's already there, adding an eighth principle, adding some of the famous UUs, and changing out some of the famous UUs that aren't necessarily UUs on the walls. So if you are interested in that, you can talk to me, you can talk to Eric first, who is currently teaching in that room, and I'm going to be recruiting teachers for the rest of the year. These guys are in for this pillar, what we call our season of focus and study. But if you've been a member 6 months or longer, because we do want you to have a chance to be here and feel nurtured and feel welcome, and we get to know you, you get to know us, etc. Talk to me about that. We would love to have you do that. And I just wanted to reiterate about the homecoming next week. If you're at home watching online and you have kids, this is a great time to come back. I think we're going to have some outdoor games outside after the service. We're going to get to bless the backpacks and welcome everybody back. So really encourage you this is a great time to come on back. Today's a good day to come back too, and we're glad to see some of you we haven't seen in a while. But next week also will be great. Thank you.
One other thing about next week, we will be having an in-gathering of new members, and I know you'll want to come show your support for them and see who they are if you don't know them yet, and I look forward to that. So please, today after the service, plan to stay. We will have a reception with cake for our Emerson recipient. There it is. Nope. There's some things I need to get done before our homecoming service. We've bought new wheels for the ping pong table because it's missing some, and so somebody needs to change out the wheels. Depending on the weather, if it starts to look like the weather's going to be bad next week, I will be putting a canopy up and would use some help with that. There are a couple of things around the grounds that we could use help with. Also, next week, we will be placing a new Pride feather banner out at the road. And the milestones that get marked are basically 25 years and 50 years of membership. So let yourself get here now. Let the seat hold you and take a few breaths as easily as you can with your masks on. And thank you for wearing them. And let us enter a spirit of community and worship. Together we have come into this sacred space, into this circle of community, embraced by a great cloud of witnesses of those who have come before us. Let us each bring our whole self here, and may that wholeness include our brokenness. Here, be received as you truly are, unique and beautiful, your journey acknowledged, your love honored. Bring the joy that makes your heart sing. Bring your kindness and compassion, your sorrow, pain, passion. Bring your vision, or here find vision and hope. Spirit of love and mystery, help us recognize the spark of the divine that resides within us, within each of us, and let us rejoice together. I would ask you to remain seated, but join me in singing the hymn by Carolyn McDade, Spirit of Life. Can I get some help leading the first part of our chalice lighting? If y'all move just a little closer to this mic, that'd be great.
We light this chalice to celebrate Unitarian Universalism. This is the church of the open mind. This is the church of the open hands. This is the church of the loving heart.
Someone want to light? Thank you so much. Great job. We light this chalice, symbol of our faith alive in the world, naming our vision of collective liberation and daring to remember each other into beloved community. Would you please rise in body or spirit and say the unison affirmation with me as you're comfortable? Or love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve human need to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the sacred. Thus do we covenant with each other. Our opening hymn is I'm on my way to the freedom land. way to the freedom land. I'm on my way to the freedom land. I'm on my way, praise God, I'm on my way. I asked my siblings, come and go with me. I asked my siblings, come and go with me. I asked my siblings, come and go with me. I'm on my way, praise God, I'm on my way. If they say no, I'll go anyhow. They say no, I'll go anyhow. They say no, I'll go anyhow. I'm on my way, praise God, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Hang on a second. We're going to speed this up some. Okay? I'm on my way, and I won't look back. I'm on my way, and I won't turn back. I'm on my way, and I won't turn back. I'm on my way, praise God, I'm on my way. First verse, I'm on my way to the freedom land. I'm on my way to the freedom land. I'm on my way to the freedom land. I'm on my way, praise God, I'm on my way. I'm on my way, praise God, I'm on my way. Thank you. Hopefully we gain momentum as we go.
Thanks for singing. It was nice to hear you. Good morning again. I want to tell, since this is the day of the Ralph Waldo Emerson Award, I wanted to tell you a story about Mr. Emerson and his daughter Ellen. You know, we hear a lot about how he kind of opened up a new world of spirituality with transcendentalism, with people, letting people know they have their own divine spark, their own connection to all that is. And we talk about him in terms of his social justice stances for abolition and for the rights of women. What we don't always think about or talk about is a little bit about his personal and family life. And so this is a story, just a little kind of vignette from his life with he had several children, but this is about him and his daughter Ellen. And this is when she was a little girl, and Christmas was coming. And he told Ellen, think about what you want for Christmas. And she said, oh, I want this year to be really special. I really need to think about that. And he said, well, just let me know. You know, this was maybe late November, early December. Just let me know. So from time to time, he would kind of check in and ask her, and she said, I'm still thinking, has to be really special. And she thought, chocolate, bonbons, a new lace collar, because that was a big thing, you know, for the fashion back then. Some kind of a toy, books, oh, I don't know, what. And finally, She thought of exactly what she wanted to make the best possible Christmas she could have. And she went to her dad and said, I figured it out. But you have to guess, and I'm going to tell you a riddle. First of all, what do you think she wants before I tell you the riddle? I know that's going to be a better clue. You got any idea what, Jackson? Something that is one thing, but what? All combined. Oh, something that would be one thing, all combined. She's probably wishing she had you, at that time. So I'll tell you the riddle that she told her dad. She told him, only you can give it, but you cannot buy it, and yet it's worth all the money that you have, and then some. What is it, Ava? What? It's love. In a manner of speaking, but it's something that her dad would need to do to express that love. Time, I heard it. Yeah, time. She wanted more time with her dad. And he was a busy minister, and even after he finished being a minister, he was still, a writer, a theologian, a speaker. He was a busy, busy man. And so she asked for time with her father, for more time. And he thought about it, and he said, I can do that. I can do that. And Christmas Day came, and she knew there would not be something wrapped under the tree because she was going to get what she asked for. And he said, now I'll tell you a riddle. When I give you this gift, I will gain more from giving it than you will from receiving it. And she thought about that, and she wasn't quite sure how that worked, but how did that work? He said, I will get more from giving it than you will get from receiving it. What's he saying? That what? Giving his time to her will be good for his life. And so he tried, as busy as he was and as many things as he did, he tried to live that way with his children and to value his family. So just one more little thing about Mr. Emerson to share. And we will sing the children and youth to their classes. Don't they stay for the Emerson? Oh, I'm sorry, not yet. That's right. You guys stay for the presentation. Yeah. All right, thank you.
On September 11th, 2001, 21 years ago today, more than 3,000 people were killed. Since then, more than 31,000 children have been killed with guns in America. Over 20 years, the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, which ended, the last of which ended in bloody chaos. There were more than 7,000 U.S. troops killed, more than twice as many as were killed in the Twin Towers stuff. We're encouraged to direct our attention often away from things that might be more consequential than what we're looking back at. Does that make sense? With things afoot, I got a message today that the right-wing extremists are surging in Sweden. with white supremacists worried about things like the Great Replacement theory, worrying that ethnicities other than white are displacing white people in power over time. One of the things that they are working to do is ensure that the birth rate among whites is increased. The solution is to take away means of birth control and rights of autonomy. If I am not the final say over what goes on within my own skin, I have no autonomy. I have no independence, and I have no freedom. When government at any level, institutional, local, state, federal, begin to interfere with or obstruct the right of that determination, it robs us of the most basic human right. Ralph Waldo Emerson, who once ran a school for girls, believe it or not, and on whom Louisa May Alcott had a crush, Emerson said, "Nothing is at last sacred but the integrity of your own mind." He stood out among his contemporaries for underscoring the importance of having utmost faith in an individual's own faculties. To me, that sounds like autonomy. He was an active supporter of suffragists and abolitionists. No matter how anyone thinks of what they believe about abortion, it does not give them the authority to reach inside the visibly obvious natural boundaries of my very being and deprive me of that fundamental self-determination. As a supporter of suffrage and abolitionists, Emerson also said, "To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment." There's a lot afoot trying to keep people from being who they need to be in this world. And this year, our Emerson recipient has worked tirelessly to keep that freedom alive for thousands and thousands of women and girls and more. We're grateful to her for her courage and steadfastness in light of every threat she has had to face, every challenge to fundamental personal authority, and every struggle she has mounted to protect individuals' rights to make well-informed choices about their own bodies, lives, and responsibilities. As I invite Kathaleen Pittman up here to join me on the dais, I ask you to join me in acknowledging the uncommon commitment and valor of Hope Medical Group Director Kathaleen Pittman. Our plaque this year, honoring Kathaleen, says, "Ralph Waldo Emerson Award, presented by All Souls Unitarian Universalist Church of Shreveport, September 11th, 2022. With grateful appreciation to Kathaleen Pittman in honor of her accomplishments and ongoing efforts to protect access to care and bodily autonomy for all, thus embodying the principles and values of liberal religion. Kathleen, we are so grateful for you and everything you have done for so long. Thank you very much. Can I give you a hug? Yeah. We need to help some of those, and we'll tell you about that in a little bit. Thank you. Now we can sing our children on the way. Everywhere, everywhere you may go. As we come now to a time of quieting the noise, hopefully, in our busy minds, just for a few moments, may we open ourselves ever more fully to that eternal mystery, the unsearchable, unknowable, which lures us onward toward life and creativity, toward recognition of our own strength, our potential, and our wholeness. May we find the courage to live our faith, to speak our truth, and to strive together for a world where freedom abounds and justice truly does roll down like water. May we know the fullness of love without fear, and the serenity of peace without turmoil, as we endeavor to be authentic with one another, to be fully present. May we hold one another in the deep and tender places with compassion, and may we grace one another by sharing our own vulnerabilities, being ever mindful of the divinity within that makes soulmates of us all. May we now find this is a safe place. In this moment, this room, this gathering, let us breathe together, conspire in the luxury of the freedom we have. Rest, if only for a moment, in the timeless expansiveness that touches all of life. Feel the peace of this space.
this madness that finally brings life from the threshold of death in the depths of your mind. A glimmer that streams through the keyhole of something and shows you your candles were darkness in costume. Sophia, Sophia, weighing the wand where the mysteries bloom. Sophia. She stands without armor and watches the door as they resurrect freedom 1,000 times more. Torches and tyrants roll off of her face as she holds down the bridges, repairing the gate. Sophia, Sophia, weighing the wand where the mysteries bloom. Sophia. Visions cloud your breast, truly your soul's undressed, coming into your own. You're not alone. You're not alone. Brokers and bargainers barter away as the question is lingering how long she will stay, lifting the veil with the lantern to guide you, expose that it isn't a matter of virtue. Sophia, Sophia, weighing the wand where the mysteries bloom. Sophia.
I hope it's okay that I mention quickly that I wrote that song about Robin Rothrock, who was the founder of the Hope Medical Group. A number of years ago I wrote it, but that's why it got included in today's service. I would like to invite a board member who has worked very closely with our Emerson recipient, serving as an escort, to actually do the introduction of our guest speaker, Rebecca Tuggle.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank y'all. What a wonderful reason to be up here this morning. I'm very proud to have been asked to do this honor by Jennifer Russell and the worship committee, so thank you for that as well. Found a quote on the Hope website that I thought was extremely appropriate. People who care when care is needed. Because if that doesn't sum up Kathaleen Pittman, I don't know what does. And for her, that started really, really early. I got a chance to sit down with her and actually talk to her about how she came to all of this. And actually, she got started helping people acquire abortion access when she was in college in Arkansas. A criminal justice major, just trying to work her way through college. And people knew then that she was someone to turn to. And this was pretty soon after Roe became effective. But of course, as one of 12 sisters in 16 siblings, she's no stranger to being asked to help out and helping out. She was born and raised in Dubberly, in case you did not know that, because I certainly didn't. And she did get that criminal justice degree. However, found the justice sorely lacking, thank goodness for us, because she decided to turn her life to counseling instead. And that is how she came to Hope Medical Group in the first place. She was a counselor back in 1992. Now, after Robin, of course, Kathaleen became not only the director, but the face of Hope Medical Group for Women, and she has spoken to countless groups, to courts, even to the UN in Geneva, which, if that doesn't blow you away, it certainly blew me away. Not that it's surprising, because while she does not seek the limelight definitely seeks her, and it finds her up to the challenge every single time. To say she's risen to that occasion obviously is a gross understatement, and especially in light of what has happened over the course of this year. But it may be the end of Roe. It is definitely not the end of Kathaleen Pittman. And I am happy to present to you the 2022 recipient of the Emerson Award, someone I'm proud to know, Kathaleen Pittman.
Thank you, Rebecca. That was lovely. One correction. I went to Northeast Louisiana University, but there's a story behind that. As Rebecca said, I am one of 16 children. No, that is not why I'm pro-choice. I guess it was in the late 70s. I was a student at Northeast when a very dear friend came to me, sobbing because she was pregnant, couldn't go home and tell her folks. We knew abortion was legal. We just didn't know where to go to find one. So on a Saturday morning, we sat down with a landline phone. Bear in mind, this was before the internet, before directory assistance. So what did we do? We called the operator. And I explained in a very trembling voice, because she was just emanating absolute panic and pain. I explained to the operator what we needed. She was quiet for a few seconds, and then she said, "Don't go away. I need to do some research. I need to take other calls, but I'll be back." Every few minutes, she would check back with us. "Ma'am, are you still there?" "Yes, we're still here." After about 20 minutes, she came back with a phone number for a physician in Camden, Arkansas. So that's where the Arkansas comes in. I took my friend, and everything went well. They were very kind to her. And I became the person with the phone number. If you needed help, call Kathaleen. She'll give you the phone number. I graduated. I moved on. As she said, I was a criminal justice major. I did several things, but I don't know. Truly, I determined, after years of work, there is no justice in criminal justice. So while I was in the process of going back to school for my master's, I went through a divorce. I became a single parent, moved back in with my mom, and one day saw an ad in the Shreveport Times for a counselor at Hope Medical. And by then, I knew Hope Medical existed. It had opened up in 1980. I thought, I can do that. And I did. I was hired as a part-time counselor. It wasn't long before I took on full-time work. But can you imagine going to work every day with the gift of knowing that you're making a difference in not just one, but many lives? And I can absolutely promise you that aside from the issues with the legislature, the issues with Department of Health and Hospitals, I look forward to did look forward to going to work each and every day. It was amazing. In the late 90s, we saw the first of the TRAP laws come along when Governor Mike Foster signed into law the 24-hour waiting period. I was tasked that day to explain to women who had arrived and were already being medicated that we would not be able to do their procedure. The governor had just signed the law. We challenged it, bought a little time. And speaking of challenges, even our attorneys can't remember how many cases we've had through the years, because if there was some egregious law passed by the legislature that involved reproductive rights, call Hope Medical. We're your team. We're willing to challenge, and we did. And as I said, they lost track of the number of cases. Robin Rothrock was the administrator when I arrived and remained such. She later actually bought the clinic. And on the day that I had to send the women home because of the 24-hour waiting period, I told her, I said, well, if this is the worst they can do, I think we can manage. And she had this really sad look on her face, and she said, oh no, this is just the beginning. It's going to get much, much worse. I never thought of Robin as a prophet, but those words were prophetic, because for years, ever since then, we have been fighting one law after another, one statute, one regulation after another. The last few years have been particularly arduous because, I guess most of you know, we actually took a case to the Supreme Court, which we ultimately won, June Medical versus Russo. We couldn't even enjoy our win but for a moment before Texas passed SB 8, which banned abortion beyond 6 weeks. Oh, it was devastating for the women of Texas, and it actually was devastating to the women of Louisiana. Our phones rang nonstop, women sobbing, staff sobbing because we couldn't help more. By this spring, we were running between 400 and 500 people on a waiting list just to get an appointment, not for the procedure, but just begging for an appointment. It took its toll. And through all of these years where I've been caught up in the legal shenanigans and the issues with the legislature, the media, not once did I ever think that any care was lacking, because I've got to tell you people, I'm sorry, we had the most amazing team there at Hope. Steffi Chaffee, the assistant administrator, was right behind me all the way, making sure nothing fell through the cracks. Staff smiling at our patients, telling them, for today we can take care of you, we're going to do what we can. Some truly dedicated people. And I would be totally remiss if I did not at least mention our escorts. Oh gosh, they brought us peace, comfort, laughter many times with their what they were up to. But to know that we could be inside taking care of our patients, and our escorts were out there making sure they arrived at our door safely, that they could form a barrier between the patient and the harassment. These are some truly, truly amazing, amazing people. Emerson said, people do not seem to realize their opinion of the world is also a confirmation of their character. There are good people in this world. We may not feel it every day because, frankly, ever since Roe was reversed and we had to close our doors, it's been difficult at times to see the good. I firmly believe there is good. I see good people in front of me, and there are many more out there. I'm often asked by media why we chose to challenge the trigger ban that went into effect after Roe was reversed. And my only response to that is, you ask the patients that receive care during that extra month that we were able to provide for them. And I am standing before you today as a recipient of this award but make no mistake. I'm accepting it on behalf of the clinic staff, our physicians, and our escorts. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Our closing hymn. Remember to stay for cake. And also, after the closing hymn, I want to ask Amanda if she has any thing to say about the potluck that we need to know. But the closing hymn is "Guide My Feet." If you will rise in body or spirit. Susan's notes covered my words down there. Susan. Oh. Thank you. Guide my feet while I run this race. Guide my feet while I run this race. Guide my feet while I run this race. For I don't want to run this race in vain. Hold my hand while I run this race. Hold my hand while I run this race. Hold my hand while I run this race. For I don't want to run this race in vain. Stand by me while I run this race. Stand by me while I run this race. Stand by me while I run this race. For I don't want to run this race in vain. My feet while I run this race. Guide my feet while I run this race. Guide my feet while I run this race. For I don't want to run this race in vain.
Thanks, Shaw. I'll be quick. Potluck next week. Everybody loves a potluck. So if you have a thing you love to cook and bring to a potluck, wonderful. If you don't have time to cook, but you have time to grab something, also wonderful. If you just want to bring some beverages, everybody likes sweet tea. So come, and if you can't bring anything, just bring yourself. We'll have plenty to eat. If you want to stay and wash dishes, we won't be mad. So I hope to see all of y'all and folks who are at home next Sunday. It'll be great.
Thank you. And if anybody's interested in helping with things like the ping pong table or maybe clearing one of the sleeves for banners out front, let me know. May the love that is the doctrine of this church be also the strength and the spirit of this congregation and of our individual lives. When you love someone, you fight to protect them when they are in harm's way. If you see no stranger and choose to love all people, can you imagine that? Then you must fight for anyone who is suffering from the harm of injustice. This was the path of the warrior sage in the Sikh tradition. The warrior fights, the sage loves, and this is revolutionary love. To motivate this work, you need love, because this work is really hard. And then you need commitment. Yes, this work is hard, but the impact will be that when I'm no longer here, I've set people in a different trajectory to help create a different world. Truth manifests itself and its own force. Let us ride on the power of its revelation with a heart ready to receive, to forgive, and to learn, to work for justice every place we can. As we extinguish the chalice, this flame, may we take within us the light of truth, the bold, transcending power of love, the courage of shared commitment to grow in understanding, work toward beloved community, ready in the meantime to fight for and protect what belongs to every person. Amen. Ashe. Blessed be. Namaste. Go in peace. Stay for cake. One, two, three, four. I will not be afraid, for I know my hope, it is justified, I know. Revelation still unfolds. I will not be ashamed. I will open my soul to the mystery beyond my control. The love that makes this broken world whole. There is only so far down the road a body can see. I will do what's fine and move on, speaking truth with love to powers ever greater than me. With compassion, I'll be where I belong. I will not be afraid, for I know my hope, it is justified, I know. Revelation still unfolds. I will not
ashamed.